right, Nate. The last game of the divisional round could be the game of the playoffs with the Ravens taking on the Bills in Buffalo. Kind of match up with the maybe two MVP favorites in the AFC. Bills opened as a small favorite in this game, and now the Ravens are a short road favorite. Is there a reason for the flip of the favorites in this week?
Yep. So line opens Bills -1, which kind of indicates that the Ravens are slightly better on a neutral field because you do give
Hmm.
Buffalo some credit for home field advantage. I think this move kind of indicates the Ravens are clearly better, which I don't know if I totally
Hmm.
agree with. I know it's not a huge move because it's through zero and the game can't end in a tie, but it does
Yeah.
say, I mean, Baltimore, a road favorite in Buffalo, which is one of the tougher places to play, especially this time of year in the playoffs. And the
Hmm.
history of Lamar Jackson in the playoffs has had some bad moments, especially on the road. There was that game in 2020 or 2020 season where the it was pretty much the same situation, divisional round, where the Bills, in front of basically no one in the crowd because of COVID, beat the Ravens, and Buffalo has a good track record at home in the playoffs, other than last year's loss to the Chiefs. But everyone loses to the Chiefs this time of year, so don't take knock them down too much for that. So I think the reason really though for the move is that you see this Ravens team that kind of struggled early in the year in terms of getting wins, but offensively was humming, and that offensive play has kind of continued. And now the defense
Hmm.
under a really young defensive coordinator in Zach Orr, who's like 32 years old, which is pretty incredible. He's done a really nice job kind of making adjustments throughout the season. And now the Ravens have gone from a pretty bad defense, especially in coverage, to actually just an above average or actually pretty good unit in general. So I do think that Baltimore is trending up in the right areas,
Hmm.
places where they needed to improve on, and that they are probably the best team in the NFL because of that. And then you
Yeah.
also look back at when these two teams played earlier in the season. Week 4, Ravens were actually 1-2 at the time. Bills were coming in hot, 3-0 off a Monday night blowout of the Jags. The game was a Sunday night in Baltimore. Baltimore was a 2.5 point favorite, and Baltimore won 35-10, kind of dominated the
Hmm.
game from start to
Yeah.
finish. So maybe there's some better see a matchup advantage for Baltimore on both sides of the ball that isn't really accounted for in the point spread. So I think that's why we have that move there. Just a lot of people love this Baltimore team, and it's hard to argue against that.
Yeah. All right, Nate. With all that being said, though, who wins this game?
Yes, I just have to kind of trust my numbers here. I still think Buffalo should be a small favorite in this game because they're at
Hmm.
home. So I'm going to take the Bills in some form, but I'm going
Okay.
to hold off and wait to see and get more information on this game. One thing I want to see is Zay Flowers going to play. He missed the Steelers game. He did get injured, a knee injury in Week 18. If he's good to go, maybe this line ticks up a little bit more to Baltimore.
Hmm.
I just think that the early support on the Ravens was more because of how good the Ravens have been playing lately. And I just want to kind of not push back against it, but I think that there could be value in Buffalo because the
Yeah.
Ravens are like kind of like the hot team, but Buffalo has such a strong home field advantage, and I'm going to bet them in some way, but I'm going to wait a little bit. So I will make a bold prediction though. I think the winner of this game is going to win the Super Bowl because I like either
Wow.
team beat Kansas City next week as long as they don't beat
Hmm.
each other up too much. And then I would like either team against most likely the Lions or Eagles in the Super Bowl. So I feel like Sunday night is going to feel like the watching the Super Bowl. It's the same
Yeah.
time as the Super Bowl, 6:30 Eastern time. It's just going to be played in Buffalo or in Orchard Park, New York, and not in New
Yeah.
Orleans. But I can't wait to watch this one. And I do think whoever if you have a strong opinion on who's going to win this game, I would look into betting that team to win the Super Bowl. I know like the Ravens and Bills are around like 4-1, five to
Yeah.
one. So make sure to shop around for the best price. And I think that could be at least a bet that could kind of take you home for the next few weeks.